And then let me just set the timer before we get started. And by the way, Rita, my name is Whitney. If you didn't catch my name. So nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Absolutely. You as well. I'm just gonna set the timer here. I'm like multitasking over here. I almost need to like hire like a Zoom producer because it would help so much so I can just sit here and talk. All right, here we go.
Actually, yeah, there's VAs that help with that too.
Yeah, no, absolutely. We just brought on like four different VAs, so I'll definitely be assigning some things.
Yeah.
I love it when they can make your life easier, you know?
And all they do is record and transcribe. So it's kind of cool. Like they just spend like however long you're on here, they just do it like that.
Yeah. All right, let's get going. Hello, everyone. My name is Whitney. I'm here with the SMO Podcast, and I have the pleasure of speaking with Rita today. So excited to dive a little bit deeper into your message and how you're serving. I think that you bring something very different, and I'm excited to just get into this conversation. So, Rita, for everyone that is watching and tuning in and is going to be watching this later, tell us who you are and what do you do?
My name is Rita. I go by Coach Ree, and I actually help with clarity and structure for overwhelmed excuse me, for overwhelmed women entrepreneurs who are trying to build a business that works without them being constantly in it.
Wow, that's such a powerful conversation concept in itself. Like you're helping women, you know, basically structure their business so that they don't have to physically be there. Can you tell us more about that? Like, how did you even get started and what led you to take this path seriously?
So it's funny because a couple of years ago, I started a cleaning business, and I had my son, and I had postpartum depression. And so my business failed due to the fact that I couldn't show up the way I wanted to. Not because I didn't have great ideas, not because I didn't have, you know, good things coming in as far as money, but it's just because I didn't have the structure that I needed for it to stand up, even when my life started going in a direction I didn't expect it to go. And so I always wanted to tell other women entrepreneurs, like, hey, this is how it should be structured. And I also talk about mental wellness a lot. So I taught them both in by teaching women like you have to step outside of you because we have this idea that we have to do everything. And it's like, okay, so when life stops, what happens to the business? And that's
Mm,
why you can't just rely on you for everything. You have to be able to create systems and delegate it to other people. And you can't do that if you have no structure.
So we're talking to the super moms right now. We're talking to the moms that maybe feel burnt out, that maybe are juggling all the things, that started a business and maybe they're in a season where they don't know what to do next because I feel like you're talking to moms worldwide and this is just super, super relatable. So Rita, tell us, was there ever a moment where you felt like you wanted to quit but didn't?
Um, I did my cleaning business, and it was something that I was like, hey, I'm just gonna pick it back up later because my mental health was way more important to me than my business at the time. And it's like I can go and pick this up later with better ideas, with more structure, so that when I jump in, I can just hit the ground running. And so I mean, I did. I was like anybody else. When you get overwhelmed, when there's so many things happening and life is coming at you, you either push through it or you stop. And I was one of the people who hit the e-brakes.
Mm, that's so good. So tell us, because I think right now, what you're really providing is a way for us to just be more structured with our time, to spend more time with our family, to have that freedom in our business and in life. And I think that this is even just relatable to every business owner. Um, so I'd love to hear from you in just letting us know maybe like one key system that you feel every woman entrepreneur should have in their business in order to create that. freedom of having to physically be there 24/7?
Emails.
Mm,
You have to be able to send off emails. And I'm talking about things like many chat, sending it to people on Instagram, TikTok, just being able to send that off without having to constantly watch for the comments and send a comment every single time a person comments. Because as soon as they send a comment, the timer is ticking. So you need an automated system to be able to send those messages to them to get them into your business. And
mm,
then sending out emails, whether that's weekly, monthly, you need to have those set up so that they go out to everybody that's currently subscribed to you. So that way you're not sitting here for hours trying to rush and do the things that you need to do. And people always underestimate that because it's like, okay, well, it's just an email, but just an email can take an hour. And if you learn how to send all of those things off immediately, you can just post your content, you can run your business, and everything is getting sent out on the back end.
wow. Yeah, I think that's so good. Even in my business, and I'm sure a lot of people can relate to this. Recently I'm like, I need an email marketing system and I need to delegate this ASAP because I'm the one doing all the things. And now realizing that, there's AI, there's so much now that we can implement where we don't
Mhm.
need to play all the roles and be the super mom, if you will. So, Rita, tell us, just within your journey and your experience of now creating this, because I believe your testimony and your experience was, part of the reason you were able to build a successful business and allow other people to build, their businesses around clarity and structure and, freeing up their time. It's such an important reminder here, and I think it's such a powerful conversation in itself. So tell us, was there ever a barrier that you needed to break in the becoming, and what do you feel like that is for a lot of people right now as well in your niche or in your line?
Yeah, for sure. So I actually wrote a book on it. It's called You Can't Heal If You're Broke. And the biggest thing that stopped me is first and foremost, we all have a lid. So we all have a ceiling that we hit, and we either stop at the ceiling or we learn more and push past that ceiling. Um, for me, it was constantly hitting the ceiling and wondering why, and finally realizing that one, I had a money story that was telling me that you only have to make a certain amount of money a year to be okay, just being comfortable. And the belief system in the very beginning, I was like, I don't know how this is going to work. I don't know how I'm going to be able to speak to people and relate to people. And then I was just like, just be yourself. Like,
Yeah.
just do the thing that you love every single day, and people will see it and they'll come to you. But the biggest thing that will stop you from actually thriving in your business is your money story. Because a
Mm,
lot of us have this tied to money that's like, okay, well, if I make $20 an hour or $30 an hour, sometimes some people make $60 an hour. If I just make $100,000 a year, that'll be great. But that's capping yourself off from your actual potential, because what if you could do
mm,
more? And if you
yeah.
tying this number to how much you put out, that shows how much you're actually going to be able to put out.
Mm. I love this whole idea of what is your money story? What are you telling yourself that is limiting you, that is keeping you from that next level, from the income that maybe you're holding yourself to.
Mhm.
And I think that, wow, yeah, there's a lot of lessons in this conversation. For those that are watching, keep watching. Make sure you go back and listen to this because there are gems being dropped. And I think that this is a powerful, powerful concept of just how we can, learn to become without all those disempowering beliefs, and leaving those old ways and patterns behind. So, Rita, I think a lot of your work is helping and people, women become heard and seen. So tell us, like, what does that personally mean to you? Like, what does being personally heard and seen mean to you?
Being unafraid to be myself. Like my voice is in everything that I do. And that's what I do for other women as well. It's like you have a voice. And I know AI is this big thing, but you don't have to let that strip your voice either. Say what you want to say, do the things that you want to do, because we only get one life. You know, whether you want to start a 6 figure, 7 figure, 8 figure business, you have to have that mindset of, I need to speak in my own voice. People need to hear me instead of hearing generic or hearing what you think they might want to hear in a salesy tone. Just talk. Like they're people. They're just like you know?
Yeah, so just staying true to who you are. And I think one of the things that you said that I think is so underrated that a lot of people kind of just miss because maybe it's something that's tossed around a lot, but we only have one life and you just need to be true to who you are. It's such an underrated concept because it really is true. And so maybe for the person that's feeling stuck right now, the woman, because you help so many women, maybe someone that feels stuck right now and is learning how to navigate, being a mom, playing the role of a business owner, maybe even a single mom, or just, trying to play all the roles and be successful while doing it. What is some advice that you would give to them to become unstuck?
Honestly, you just have to want it. Like that's just how I push through the nights where I just wanted to give up and the nights where things weren't going the way that I wanted it to go. I just knew that my kids were the reason why I wanted to push so hard, because I want to give us a better life and I won't stop until I get that. And so it's will, it's also belief that you can do it, and it's also, I know people are going to say something about this, but rest. You have to rest, because a lot of us push past what we're already limited on. And then it's like, okay, well, now I'm just too tired to run my business, or I'm too tired to show up as a mom, or I'm too tired to work, or whatever it is that you're doing. You have to take breaks and love on yourself a little bit more.
Yeah. What would you say to the woman that is maybe struggling to rest? They're so busy all the time and they're just trying to figure out a way where they can be present in their business, be present in their life, be present as, all the responsibilities that they play, but also spend time for themselves. Like, is there a system that you have for that?
I'm hard headed. So, I was always taught by my parents, if you don't sit down, life is going to sit you down.
Mm,
And you don't want life to sit you down. You want to be able to sit down and just take a moment. And a lot of us say, well, we have this and this and this to do, but it's like those things will still get done even if you take 30 minutes to yourself.
mm,
But if life has to sit you down, you're going to be sat down for who knows how long. You might be sleep for half a day, or you might be, just tired and groggy and not being able to do what you want to do for close to a week. And that's not time that you want to give. So give yourself the 30 minutes now so you don't have to take more time later unwillingly, you know?
mm. Yeah, that's so good. Sit down, make the time to sit down, or life will sit you down.
Hmm. For
That
sure.
that was it right there. What are they doing nowadays? The little, yeah,
Clock
yeah,
it.
clock it. That was good right there. That was that. Whoa, that's good moment, Rita. Wow. I absolutely love this conversation and everybody needs to hear this. Not just the moms, not just the single moms, but I think business owners in itself. I think that you can serve so many people, but I love that you do focus on single moms because you're speaking from experience and you're helping people, based on everything that you went through and now creating light for that. So I absolutely love this. I would love to know, before we close out, what is a way that we can connect with you? And what is a transformation that we will get with working with you?
So all of my social medias are the Alchemist Ree with two eyes. You can also look up Coach Ree, I believe. All of my platforms say Coach Ree at some part of the page. But also I have an email on those pages as well as my website link.realchemy.com. And honestly, the transformation is going to be mental before you actually see the results, but you will see the results as long as you understand that everything has its place and you have to put it there for it to work like it should.
Mm, say that again.
Everything has its place, and you have to make sure you put it where it needs to go so that it works as it should.
Okay, because I think it went over my head, and I think maybe somebody else's too. And it's so good because a lot of this conversation, we were just basically talking about the little things that add up over time that you can make that little shift today to be able to implement into your business. I have one last question for you because this has been so powerful and so I think eye-opening. What is a mindset shift that changed everything for you?
Stop waiting on your feelings to make a decision.
Mm,
And I'll explain that a little bit more because when I heard it, I was like, what? When you rely on your feelings before you make a decision, you're waiting on somebody to give you permission.
mm,
And you don't want to wait for somebody to give you permission. It's your life. And the longer you wait, the more time you're going to have to look back on and say, I should have done more with that time because
mm,
we don't get it back. So you need to make sure that you're not running on emotions. You're running on the things that you actually want to do. Make a decision and make that decision work for you, emotions or not.
mm. So you're saying don't let the expectations or opinions of others keep you from going to your next level because it's your life.
Well, not just that, because we can be our biggest critics, you know?
Mm,
And so we have to make a decision even when our emotions are telling us to stop, or maybe we're not good enough, or maybe we can't do it, or maybe we're not the person that's meant to hold on to the things that we have, you know? So that's like your decisions don't revolve around your feelings.
mm. All right, we're giving away too much. So make sure you connect with Rita. This is a powerhouse conversation that you do not want to miss. So if you are listening, if you haven't listened yet, or if maybe you listened and you didn't take notes, go back and take notes so that you can actually apply all the things that Rita was able to, genuinely just pour into us today. So thank you so much, Rita. Thank you for being here. Thank you for the wisdom that you provided for us. And I'm definitely looking forward to applying this information so that I can work less and have more freedom in my business as well.
All right, thank you.
Beautiful, beautiful. What a great conversation. What a